So anyway, let's get started. We always start with massaging. So I'm going to get into that first. A little facial massage. And I was in North Carolina in Charlotte this week. I live here in New Orleans. It was actually hotter in Charlotte than it had been in New Orleans. Epicurus oil cleanser is what I'm using and what I'm going to use to do my facial massage. And we're going to chat while I'm doing that. So yeah, I went to Charlotte to check in for work, and I didn't hang out at all. Um no, I just wasn't really there for that. I was really there to check in and work. And I really need to get some content, and I was able to do that. Actually, yeah, got exactly what I needed and was really happy with the results, was able to connect with my boss, my friend, and it was just a great time to kind of like go back into a scenario that had been really challenging at one point in time. And my nervous system is starting to r- find a new relationship with this place. Um, that used to be called home. It used to be called home. I mean, it still is, on the just factual side, it's still home. But for me, um, the sense of home, the true feeling of feeling grounded in a space is no longer in Charlotte, North Carolina. Right now, for me, um, it's in my body, in my physical body. And New Orleans is continuing to feel really good to me. So we're doing gua sha. I'm going back to the first tool that I ever showed you. Um, and so I want the theme of this turn down service here to be about grounding. Grounding. That is what skincare has provided for me. Um, Using tools, beauty rituals to continue to keep myself feeling like myself and holding myself accountable for making myself better all the time. One of the reasons that I'm also starting on this side, and I didn't even realize how bad it was at the time, was that dental work that I had done on this side, and it had my face really swollen on this side. It had to do with my TMJ and something he did with the actual injection, and it is feeling a lot better now. But while I was at work too, I was able to have um, some masseter Botox put in to help release and relax that muscle. And it's going to take a full 14 days for everything to kick in, because it was actually still pretty bunched up, and it's helped a lot. But I say all that to say again that like this routine, this routine is like a base routine for me. Even with me being super exhausted, traveling, coming back, hanging out last night, all the ups and downs of life, that some are actually completely necessary, some I cannot control at all, um, some I want, you know. Having a sense of stability in something that grounds you and that you can come back to, that feels like home. This skincare routine is like a sense of home for me. And so I'm displaying that, I'm walking that talk, I'm showing you guys, how you can have that too. It's not a matter of you using the exact same skincare that I use, but I'm definitely sharing the tools as much as I possibly can with you. So I hope that makes sense. And please let me know. Love your comments. I got that newsletter out. I finally was able to crank that out. Um, New Orleans is getting ready to be all over social media next week because of Essence Fest. So if you happen to be coming this way, there are a few things in that newsletter, just some other things to do. I mean, Essence Fest itself is super busy and people are partying and they're listening to music and they're having a good time. But if there's some other things around New Orleans, some more peaceful kind of activities, some culture that you want to see while you're here, that newsletter is a great place to check out some of those. And so this gua sha right now is also helping to it's already releasing in my muscle tissue as well. So why I'm also kind of like revisiting this tool is because I know I want that Botox to really kind of get into this area. Not to mention, I had a couple drinks last night. So I am kind of moving fluid and lymph into the lymphatic system, just helping it along, helping it progress. So I am going to, I have a few products that I want to share with you, some new stuff that actually grounding. It's new to me and I'm reconnecting with these things. Um, but they're not particularly new. It's a new relationship with some of the older products that I have. So, because y'all, I literally just got up probably around 2 or 3 this 2-ish this afternoon. I am not typically a party girl, but I have found some places here that I really enjoy. I enjoy the music, I enjoy hanging out. The drinks are super strong. It's not about coping with things, but it is genuinely a good time. So it's nothing around here to get in around 3 a.m. Because you're not starting to hang out until about 12. It's no Walden's Day. So, you know, you know how I go. So I'm going to cleanse right now, going back to my La Roche Posay Purifying Foaming Cleanser. Again, I am really, really loving this for the summer months. It's keeping my skin nice and hydrated, but it's not stripping my skin. Um, I could actually let this cleanser at a friend's house uh, one evening or maybe a couple evenings and kind of was low key surprised at how much I missed my cleanser. And that's why, again, I do tend to recommend having a couple cleansers around. They might do different things, but I wasn't completely out of luck with that. I'm always talking about how your skincare should be like your own personal kind of medicine cabinet. As those fluctuations go with life, our skin will respond to that. So it's nice, if your skin is feeling stripped, to have a creamy cleanser that you can grab. Or if you're having a breakout, I have one with salicylic acid in it that will help combat that breakout. So, but this is the one that I'm pretty much using every day, and my skin is responding really, really well to it. You can get it at any drugstore. As always, we want to cleanse for a solid 60 seconds. I'm not going to take up the full 60 seconds here, but a full 60 seconds is what you want to really get the impact. No, don't fall of that cleanser. I need the sticky ain't sticking today. Okay. I usually about 10 to washcloth. So the other thing that I have gotten back into that I want to talk about is just honey, good old Dove soap. I am usually a body wash person in the shower, especially in the winter because it's got like, it's more oil based. But I find that for the summer, for this heat, the kind of heat that we're dealing with all across the country, I'm wanting something to really get in there and make me feel kind of squeaky clean again without stripping the skin. And some of my body washes, because they either they have more actives in them, or they are very moisturizing. I don't feel like I get that same squeaky clean feeling with the bars like I do with bar soap. So I have gone back to Dove soap. Another reason I'm bringing this up is because it's gentle enough to wash the face. So again, if I left my cleanser at a friend's house overnight or whatever, I could still just get a quick cleanse with that without interrupting my normal skincare routine and causing any reactions from that. I've been answering some questions on TikTok. This is the Naturium retinaldehyde cream serum. So this is like a retinol serum that I really, really love. I've been talking about this weekly. And again, still, it's just so like smooth and creamy, but it definitely gives you the impact of that retinol. It is a different formula, so it's not like prescription retinol that can actually kind of, again, strip your skin, cause light irritation because it is just kind of harsh. Not to mention that you do need a prescription for it. So this you can get from naturium.com. Love this product. And I am kind of at this point, again, because of the heat, I'm kind of what they call skin cycling it. I'm not using it every single night. Um, but I am kind of using it every other night. Helps with dark spots, helps with signs of aging, helps with just all the things, honey. If you over 35, you need a retinol in your life. I said that about the TikTok comments because someone in the comment was asking me about retinols. Um, what about them and skin elasticity, which means like as we start to age, again, I would say black don't crack, but it will sag and droop a little bit. So I feel like what she's talking about is her signs of aging. We all look in the mirror every day, so we know when things are starting to change, even if other people might feel like, "Oh, girl, you look great," and you do, but you might feel like you want to look a little bit better. So this is a retinaldehyde. This is a different molecule, a different type of retinol, but it has a retinol base. It's not a pure retinol. When we tend to talk about retinols, um, what's normal is tretinoin, but there are different types of products, and depending, there are a few things that can indicate if it's something that I would personally use on my own skin. One of those is price point because it's starting to become more of a kind of like a household name, just people saying retinol. But every product is not created equal. So you want to look for um like even on the back of this, it'll talk about, the percentage. This one has a point one, it's like 0.10% retinol. The one from Essential that I have in the other room, I think it is a 0.5% and it's water soluble. Um, so that, they should be able to give you some information about the percentage of retinol that's in the product itself. That's a really good indicator of what you are using and the impact of it. I'm not saying that products need to be expensive, but I am saying that price point does matter when it comes to the quality of the products that you're using. And like I said, I'm just getting up for the day. So as much as this is supposed to be about getting ready for bed, I gotta go out. I gotta eat something. I haven't even eaten anything today. So I am using that product, but I am also using the Dew Glow moisturizing sunscreen SPF 50. Love this one. You can see it leaves no cast. But because it is summer, it is hot, I'm gonna put just a little bit more. I'm showing you a different one. This is the La Roche Posay um Anthelios Clear Sunscreen. I do like this one too. It has a different texture and a different finish to it, and it will leave just a tiny cast. So that's why I like to kind of mix it with the other one that has the moisturizer in it. Um, and if you see that white cast, you can kind of just keep blending it in. But sun protection is non-negotiable, folks. Non-negotiable. So we talked about the Dove soap, which I'm loving using. That's back to the basics, honey. If you can cleanse your face with this, it's safe enough to do that. I love it for just everyday cleansing. Again, it's not stripping the skin, but it gives you that squeaky clean feeling. Um, and if you want me to, and feel free to ask questions about any of that. But I also sometimes like to chase it, and even though that's what I did today in the shower, kind of like a cocktail, I'll do that cleansing, with my bar soap. And then after that, I'll kind of go with the actives. One of my body washes that has the actives, and I'll use my African soap sponge with it so that I'm getting some nice exfoliation because we're sweating all the time here. Sorry about that. Sweating all the time here. And if you're not cleansing the skin properly, you will get those body breakouts that end up in dark spots. And that's just a whole thing, that we have to deal with. So it's nice to just exfoliate kind of on a daily basis. Speaking of sweating, I love Necessaire deodorant, and I normally use a green one that's more like a gel. It also has mandelic acid in it, which helps to so that you don't get breakouts, um, ingrowns, things like that. I do laser hair removal, so um, basically, I don't have the hair that's stopping to kind of like absorb the sweat. Most women don't walk around with hair under their arms, to each his own. Um, but I'm just saying it to say that it's constantly kind of like damp in the area, especially in the summertime. And so I was finding that my skin was getting a little bit like raw um under there. And I experienced the same thing when I was in Grenada, and I ended up getting what they call contact dermatitis. This whole area had turned kind of like black, almost like an eczema, but like a wet version of it. And it comes from the skin never really having an opportunity to dry out and the skin kind of breaking down. And if I'm using actives on that, it was starting to cause a little irritation. So I switched over to the Necessaire solid deodorant. And I love this. Still getting the coverage. It's also, doesn't have aluminum in it and those bad things that can cause cancer down the line. So I love that. I switched over from that a long time ago, from using deodorants that have aluminum in them. Um, I'll talk about that another time. But yes, really, really loving this. Love the fragrance of it too. It's not overpowering, so it's not like perfumey, but especially when you're wearing something new, it's kind of like what is that?" And I realized, like, "Oh my gosh, it's my deodorant," you know? So, loving this. I got mine at Sephora. I think it's around $21. Lasts a long time. You only need a little bit. Haven't had any issues with feeling funky or anything like that. Um, so that's another way of what I'm talking about grounding, where like I have my basic products, my things that I like and enjoy and I go to all the time. But don't be so loyal to things that when they start causing you any type of discomfort or they're not producing the results that you want to, that you can't create some variation. And you should have I encourage you to keep learning, encourage you to keep going, learning about your skin, learning about ingredients that work, that will help you with these results. I'm just putting a little eye cream under here, which I don't always do, but again, I'm kind of restoring from a lot of not just the drinking last night, but just overall, like it's been so overstimulating. And so I'm going back to some products to get back here and rejuvenate and get back into my routine. So this is the Elastin restorative eye treatment. I don't have a lot of under eye issues, but if you do have anything under eye, this is a great product to put into your everyday routine. Anything else? Just wanna I mentioned this last week, but just want to revisit this again in the spirit of restoration. I'm also taking supplements. I'm definitely getting ready to go ahead and take one. I just got some new vitamins that my um, good friends at Essential gave to me. But this is the Bio Rewind. This is a literally a skincare supplement from Skin Better Science that I really, really do like. It works with glycation when the way that sugar breaks down in the body and the way that sugar can show up in aging and signs of aging in the skin. And so using this, I really do feel like I see a big difference. Again, skin is connected to health. The healthier, the more balanced that you are, the more beautiful your skin is gonna look. And so, honey, I'm all for that. All for it. Um, and before I share this one, real quick too, just talking about hydration in general, because I had gone to the doctor, I think I shared that, and got a little blood work done. One of the things that it showed was high sodium. Well, that meant more so than me eating too much salt, it also meant that my body was dehydrated. And so I've also been really like working, and I'm going to have to work extra hard now because of alcohol, because it dries your body out, to restore my hydration as much as possible. That's going to show up in my skin. I hope we're starting to understand the relationship with real hydration here. But get it in your foods, something that I have really been like really loving and savoring these days is like cold watermelon, especially if I come in from a workout or from a walk or just a hot day. Just going in there, and the watermelons around here, I don't know what it is, but they are super sweet and they are just, oof, I just love it. Putting that watermelon out of the refrigerator and just eating that. It's pretty much all water. Cucumbers are another one. Crunching on them, snacking on them to get that water and hydration into your system. So, yes, they do have some sugar in it, but again, we gotta live life, right? Like, if I can still eat something that I really love, it's pretty healthy, and it all just comes full circle, like, why not? Um, this is 10X Health Optimize multivitamin. I don't know a ton about it. I'm just starting to use it and see, what kind of impact it makes. So about 30 days of this, I'll be able to really see and give you some details on um what I think about it. But the first day I took it, I will say I felt like I had a lot more energy um while I was in Charlotte. And again, I didn't even get to see my mom this time. I was able to, the first day that I got there, I tend to have this experience where, like, it's so overstimulating that my body just shuts down and I get super sleepy. It's like I cannot even function. I cannot, I mean, but I was so tired that I took a shower that night. I had been asleep. I woke up, took the shower, went back to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I had slept in my shower cap. Who does that? So, that is just give you evidence of how my body is internalizing things regardless of even, being able to go to work and smile and say hi and connect with everybody, and the traveling in and out, the flying in and out, all of that was just impacting me. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that sometimes we have to really learn to stop and process, how are things affecting us. And so the second day, um, went to work, all was well. Um, we had a really good lunch and it was a lot of healthy food and I loved that. And I was like, okay, awesome. And just didn't feel like I had the energy to continue to be social after that point. And then the next day was pretty much the last day I was there, and I kind of felt the same way. Um, so I'm just saying, again, creating a new relationship with things. As much as skincare seems like it is about vanity, and for me, being able to come back here, come home, weirdly enough, this very quick, small routine, having that consistency in life is something that helps me feel grounded. And after being in an environment, not just at work, but just in Charlotte in general, that I don't always find to be peaceful for me. Um, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful way to be able to find that reconnection. Not everybody has, stable family systems and like, you know, nobody's perfect out here. So sometimes we have to create that for ourselves. And that comes with just checking in with yourself weekly and daily, um, doing those things for yourself, then honey, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's healthy. It's beautiful. It's powerful. It's empowering. So I want to just continue on this journey. And thank you all so much for just lending your energy to the process. And I hope that we continue to grow. Your feedback is always, always welcome and appreciated. And as always, God willing, on Sundays at 4:30 from New Orleans time, I will be here to share my journey with you. All right. So love y'all. Continue to enjoy your day. It's a little bit longer one than usual. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you soon. Bye.